Hello guys, in this video we will simplify the abdominal aorta from its origin to bifurcation, including the all major branches and key imaging landmarks along with the anatomical variations. So let's begin with the here we see origin, course and termination of abdominal aorta. So abdominal aorta originates at the level of diaphragmatic hiatus. So we can see here this is the diaphragmatic hiatus at the level of thoracic 12 vertebra. So we see here that the abdominal aorta originates in between the right and left diaphragmatic crura and posterior to the median arcuate ligament. Here we can see that the median arcuate ligament, and it courses by descending downwards anterior and slightly left side to the lumbar vertebral bodies and terminates at the level of L4 vertebra, bifurcating into the right and left iliac arteries. So let's know about the branches of abdominal aorta. It is classified into the paired and unpaired branches. So unpaired branches include the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, and median sacral artery. So median sacral artery is the posterior parietal artery, whereas the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric, and inferior mesenteric arteries are the anterior branches. Whereas the paired branches include the inferior phrenic arteries, renal arteries, middle suprarenal arteries, gonadal arteries, and lumbar arteries. So these are the branches of abdominal aorta, and they are classified as paired and unpaired branches. Now the first unpaired branch of the abdominal aorta is the celiac trunk, which originates from the abdominal aorta at the 12th thoracic vertebra level, and it originates from the anterior side of the abdominal aorta. So we can see here in this 3D reformatted image, this is the celiac trunk, and it gives the three branches. First one is the left gastric artery, second one is the common hepatic artery, and third one is the splenic artery. So we can see in these images, these are the labeled images. So this is the 3D image. We can see this is the splenic artery, this is the left gastric artery, and this one is the common hepatic artery. Common hepatic artery further gives the branches to the gastroduodenal artery, and then from the hepatic artery proper or proper hepatic artery. And this proper hepatic artery gives branches to right hepatic artery, and this one is the left hepatic artery. So these celiac trunk supplies to the structures formed by the foregut. So these are the distal esophagus to the ampulla vater of second part of duodenum, liver, gallbladder, and biliary tree. So these are the structures supplied by the splenic artery. Now the variant anatomy of celiac trunk. So origin of three branches of celiac artery from the aorta. So these three branches can originate separately from the aorta. So left gastric artery 2 to 3% cases, splenic artery less than 1%, and common hepatic artery can originate from the abdominal aorta in the 2% of cases. Whereas the variant origin of the celiac artery itself is the, so it can originate as the common origin of the celiac artery and the superior mesenteric artery, that is called the celiaco-mesenteric trunk. This can be seen in the less than 1% of cases. Whereas the branches of the celiac trunk can originate from the superior mesenteric artery. So left gastric artery rarely arise from the SMA, whereas the splenic artery can arise from the SMA in less than 1% of cases, and common hepatic artery arise from the SMA in 2% of cases. This image shows the 3D reformatted CT image showing celiac trunk gives the left gastric artery and the common hepatic artery, whereas the splenic artery is originating separately from the abdominal aorta. Whereas in this image we can see this is the common trunk of celiac artery and the superior mesenteric artery originating from the abdominal aorta. In this image we can see that the separate origin of three branches of celiac trunk from the abdominal aorta. So we can see this is the left gastric artery, this one is the splenic artery, we can see this is the left gastric artery. This one is splenic artery. And this one, third one, is the common hepatic artery. So all these three originating separately from the abdominal aorta. Now the median arcuate ligament syndrome. It is a rare disorder where the diaphragm's median arcuate ligament compresses the celiac artery and nearby nerves, so causing chronic upper abdominal pain, which worsens by eating. So we can see here, this is the normal orientation of median arcuate ligament. This is the celiac trunk, and here we can see that the median arcuate ligament syndrome, where the median arcuate ligament compressing the celiac trunk. So we can see this is the CT sagittal image showing this is the celiac trunk, showing the indentation by the median arcuate ligament. So we can see here this originates the compression of the celiac trunk. So this is the median arcuate ligament syndrome. Now the superior mesenteric artery, which is the second unpaired branch of the abdominal aorta, it originates at the level of L1 vertebra, and it arises just below the celiac trunk and courses anteroinferiorly behind the neck of pancreas and splenic vein and crossing anterior to the renal vein. So it crosses renal vein, left renal vein, and its branches are this is the subtraction angiogram image showing all branches of the superior mesenteric artery. This is the CT image, coronal MIP image showing branches of the superior mesenteric artery. So this is the proximal SMA. We can see here this is the proximal SMA. 2 is the jejunal branches, where here we can see that this is the jejunal branches. 3 is the ileal branches. These are the ileal branches. 4 is the terminal SMA. So this is the terminal SMA. Here we can see this is the terminal SMA. 5 is the ileocolic right colic trunk. So this is the ileocolic right colic trunk. In this DSA image we can see this is the ileocolic right colic trunk 5, and 6 is the ileocolic artery, whereas the 7 is the right colic artery, and 8 is the middle colic artery. So this is seen in subtraction image, whereas not visualized in this MIP image. Now this is the middle colic artery. So we can see here this is the middle colic artery. So these arteries are visualized individually. Now this is the sagittal image showing middle colic artery, proximal SMA, and inferior pancreaticoduodenal branch of the superior mesenteric artery, and it supplies the midgut structures like small intestine, cecum, ascending colon, proximal, 2/3 of the transverse colon, and its key imaging point is the SMA runs anterior to the left renal vein, and it can show the nutcracker relationship with the left renal vein. Now the marginal artery of Drummond. So what is it? It is also called the marginal artery of colon, and it is a crucial anastomotic vessel running along the inner border of large intestine, connecting the superior mesenteric artery and inferior mesenteric artery. So in this image, this is the marginal artery of Drummond. This is the marginal artery of Drummond that anastomoses with the SMA and IMA. Now the nutcracker syndrome. As I said that the superior mesenteric artery and the renal vein has the nutcracker relationship. So why is this called nutcracker relationship? Because the nutcracker syndrome and superior mesenteric artery syndrome. It is a rare vascular compression disorder where a narrowed angle of superior mesenteric artery with the abdominal aorta is seen, which is less than 25 degree. As we can see in this image, this is the green line denotes the angle between the abdominal aorta and the superior mesenteric artery. So in this first image, we can see that there is a wide angle, whereas in the second image, there is a very narrow angle. So this is less than 25 degree. So what happens in the superior mesenteric artery syndrome or nutcracker syndrome? This angle reduces and it causes the compression of the left renal vein and the duodenum. Now the third unpaired branch of the abdominal aorta is the inferior mesenteric artery. It arises at the level of third lumbar vertebra, and it has the branches of left colic artery, inferior branch of left colic artery, superior branch of left colic artery, sigmoid artery, marginal artery of Drummond, accessory sigmoid branch of superior rectal artery and superior rectal artery. So these are the 8 branches of the inferior mesenteric artery, and it supplies the splenic flexure of large bowel to the upper 2/3 of the rectum. So it supplies the structure formed by the hindgut. Now the variants of the inferior mesenteric artery are the double inferior mesenteric artery, absent inferior mesenteric artery, and common trunks like left colic and rectosigmoid or rectal and colosigmoid arteries, or absent left colic branch. So these are the variations of the inferior mesenteric artery, and there is a one important variation, that is the arc of Riolan. That is the anastomosis between the superior mesenteric artery and inferior mesenteric artery, or we can say that the connection between the superior mesenteric artery and inferior mesenteric artery. So we can see in this image, this yellow color is denoted by the arc of Riolan, or connection between the superior and inferior mesenteric artery. We can see in this image, this is the arc of Riolan denoted by this red arrow. Now the renal arteries. So these are the paired arteries supplying the kidneys. Right renal artery is longer than that of the left renal artery, and it passes posterior to the IVC. So we can see here, this is the right renal artery and this is the IVC. So right renal artery passes posterior to the IVC, whereas this is the left renal artery supplying the left kidney. We can see in this coronal image, this is the right renal artery, left renal artery. This is the image showing the renal artery, right and left. Anatomical variants of the renal artery are the most common is the accessory renal arteries, seen in the 25% of the population. So this image showing the on both sides accessory renal artery. In this image also we can see that this is the accessory renal artery. This additional artery is joining at the lower pole of the right kidney. So this is the aberrant renal artery. We can see here also, these are the aberrant renal artery. Now another is the early branching. We can see here, this is the early branching. If the first branch originates less than 1.5 to 2 centimeter from the origin of renal artery on left side or retrocaval segment of the right renal artery, it is called the early branching, and these are very important for the renal transplant patient. Now this is the another anatomical variant, that is the right renal artery has precaval course. So this is the precaval, this is the IVC, and right renal artery traversing anterior to the IVC. So this is called the precaval course of right renal artery. So these are the anatomical variants of the renal artery. Now the gonadal artery. So depending on the male and female, it is called the testicular or ovarian arteries. So in male it is testicular artery and female it is a ovarian artery. So gonadal arteries are the paired primary vascular supply to the gonads. So in male it supplies the testicles, whereas in female it supplies the ovaries. And these artery passes inferolaterally deep to the parietal peritoneum over the psoas muscle. So we can see here, this is the psoas major muscle. The right testicular artery lies anterior to the inferior vena cava. So we can see this is the right artery. So we can see in this image, this is the 3D image showing the gonadal arteries. These are the axial image showing the gonadal artery or testicular artery. So these supplies the testicle, tunica albuginea and cremaster muscle in male. In female, gonadal artery is called the ovarian artery and it supplies the ovaries on either side, fallopian tube and the part of the uterus. So we can see here, these are the subtraction image. This is the left gonadal artery. These are the both right and left ovarian artery. Now the lumbar arteries. They arise from the L1 to L4 level and they are 4 paired arteries supply posterior abdominal wall and the spinal structures. So these are the lumbar arteries. We can see here, these are the lumbar arteries. We can see this is the first lumbar artery. second lumbar artery, third lumbar artery, and fourth lumbar artery. So this applies the dorsal muscle of the back, fascia, ligaments, vertebra, and intervertebral disc. Median sacral artery. This is also a unpaired artery, but it arises posterior part of the abdominal aorta at L4 level. So it is a small midline vessel. It descends roughly in the midline anterior to the L4 and L5 vertebral bodies, then over the sacral promontory and down towards the coccyx. It supplies the fourth and fifth lumbar vertebra, sacrum, coccyx, and supero-posterior rectum. So it supplies superior rectum and it has very minor contribution. So we can see this is this yellow arrow denotes this is the median sacral artery. We can see here this is the axial image showing a tiny median sacral artery. This is the DSA image showing the median sacral artery. Now let's summarize the abdominal aorta starts from 12th thoracic vertebra to 4th lumbar vertebra. So its extent is from T12 to L4 level. It has three major unpaired branches: celiac, trunk, superior mesenteric artery, and inferior mesenteric artery. Whereas the major paired branches are the renal and gonadal artery. And the variations are common and clinically crucial, especially in case of the transplant. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe.